How's it going, everyone? So today we're going to be replacing the pull cord on a Honda Recoil. Now, if yours doesn't look exactly like this, don't worry. They're all exactly the same procedure. So just because it's not metal, if you have the plastic ones, like I said, literally the exact same procedure, tools, everything. The only thing that's different is this is a little heavier duty, and that's it. So now that we have that out, what tools do we need? One, we need an appropriate amount of rope or pull cord rope. Now the one I'm doing is on a machine that has a clutch. So when that happens, you don't need to have the handle, this handle attached to the handlebar. So you stand next to it. Now when you do that, it needs to be like 3.5, maybe even 4 feet. Or you could just take off the one that came off the machine and measure that, because more likely than not it broke at the base. This one, I think the person who did it just didn't do it right. I don't know, but more or less I got the same amount of length, and that's it. Now when you buy that, you can buy it in bulk. If you do buy it in bulk, when you cut it, you do want to take like a torch and burn the ends so it doesn't fray. Now what we need to do is we need to get our handle ready, because the last thing you want to do is be like 50% of the way done and then realize that your handle wasn't done. So we're going to get that ready. Majority of them won't have this extra piece that I'm having to deal with, but some of them will. Might be handy to have a pair of plier cutters or just cutters. Okay, now this line still is good. It's a little old, but I'm just going to keep this around. You'd be surprised how many people come to my house that don't have tie downs, and I use that. Moving on. Handle ready. So what we need to do is this. Assuming your spring is working, you want to spin it so if you have plastic, it doesn't really matter. If you have metal, it doesn't matter. But you want to see those little dogs come out. Now, it is kind of a good idea to maintain or kind of keep. Sorry, I heard something. I want to make sure of it before I say anything. It is a good idea to kind of keep track of how many turns you're doing. 7 on a normal mower that doesn't have a clutch is pretty standard, I would say. Ones that don't, you're talking like 4. So in the meantime, grab a screwdriver, something that's relatively thin and small, or at least thin, it doesn't really have to be small, and get that ready. Now I'm going to do a little extra just because mine can handle it, because the spring itself is almost exactly the same. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is the same. So on a mower that you do 7, I mean, if I do 5 on this one, it's going to be the same. Now, you see in here, there's a little hole in this thicker area. We want to shove something, maybe not in our way. Let's move it out of our way, shall we? Something like that. That's why you need a thinner screwdriver, because it has to fit through those little air holes or air vents or cutouts or whatever you want to call them. Next, take either line, preferably the smaller one if you have one, because sometimes when you torch it, it kind of gets a little blobby. When you torch it, you want to go like that, assuming you had to. Don't worry, you're not going to burn yourself as long as you do it fast enough. Now, there are a couple ways of doing this. You can go in from the outside or start from the inside. I prefer the inside because it's generally a lot easier. Because all you have to do is just kind of guide it like so, and look at that. If you go from the outside, you have to find a much smaller area or a hole to actually shove the end in, and you can't really, it's not that easy, to be honest. Now the rope, I do it this way. I have no idea what it's called, but under, around, and through. It gives you a fairly large knot. It's easy. Potentially, if you need to, you could do it with one hand. since we have the screwdriver stuck in there, if you don't have this piece, just don't pay attention to this part. You shove it through this handle, and then you shove it through this piece. If you just have the handle, then this is where you would end up. Same exact knot. We're not here to do anything special. If you want to, you can torch this, but I don't really find it to be too necessary. Unless, like some 2 cycles could even use that, but it's for something like this, not so much. Okay, then that should be good to go. And now we're going to take our line, make it tight. We're going to hold on to it. So you don't want this thing to just go all crazy on us. 1, it can potentially damage itself, and 2, it could be flinging this, and of course this can find your eye. Then you look like a domestic assault victim. That's not a good thing. Next, we're pretty much done. We want to test it. It appears to work fine. Now you just take it, put it back on your machine. Majority of the time, you just have 3 10 millimeters that are very short. That's important. Oops. Because if you just did what I did and you dropped it and you can't find the bolt, then you can't just go and get a generic one, because majority of the time they're going to be super long, and the fins for the flywheel will get stuck, and then you'll go to turn it on, and all of a sudden it'll come to a real abrupt stop pretty early on, and you'll either break a fin, break something, or hurt your hand, or all 3. So that's about it. Now, for those of you who are still watching, congrats, you're going to learn something everyone else hasn't. I'm going to go over a couple do's and don'ts. Do high quality string, rope, line, whatever you want to call it. Stens, I believe this is what I got it from, sells a pretty good line, and I've never had a problem. I prefer synthetic. I don't like the kind of like shoestring, old shoestring material. I'm not a person that knows what material that is, so sorry, but I think you know what I mean. 2, do make sure when you're winding it up, your spring is in good condition, because if it's not, and you go through all this process and then you put it back on the machine and you pull it and the spring pops out of place, well, now you have to start all over. So what I do, that's why I do this. Or when you're tightening it, if you feel anything like start to like get tight and then kind of get loose and then catch itself again, stop. Nothing, it should not be doing that. So if you do see that, stop, take the whole thing apart and look at the spring, maybe bend it, buy a new spring, buy a new recoil, whatever you want to do. Don't get too thick or too thin of a line. Sometimes people will go and buy like this thick line because they never want to do this nonsense again. But then they come to the point when they realize they can't actually fit in either the handle or the little hole right here. And then you're either going down the avenue of drilling it out or having to go back and get a different size of line. Get the same size, and that's it. So other than that, it's pretty simple. Takes all of a few minutes, as long as you just have like, you know, basic tools, hands included. You're pretty much, you know, it's not that hard. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you at that. If you like what you see, keep watching, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. If this helped you out, put a thumbs up, because that definitely helps me out. And I'll catch you on the next video. You have a good night.